Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about electrical boxes and how we mount them on the stud. So we're just going to take the wire, gently pull down. The cord is pretty much melted together. So there we have our finished end with our... So we're going to show you a few different style of boxes here to mount on the stud. Everybody or every electrician has their own preference. There's a particular type that we like to use, but we'll go ahead and show you. So basically you have two types of boxes. You have metal boxes and you have plastic boxes. A lot of electricians like using these plastic boxes, especially in an environment where there's corrosion or they're susceptible to corrosion, like next to the ocean. Let's say you're wiring a shed and it's not going to be finished. These boxes are probably better to use. They also have a vapor seal around them, so you can put your vapor barrier right up to them. Or if you're not in a vapor seal situation, then you can use these ones here. So the box itself comes with tabs on it for 1/2 inch drywall, and it's just simply going to go on the side of the beam like that, and then there's nail holes to bang them on, so they can be nailed on the outside. And the same with these ones here, they can also be nailed on the outside. And this allows for, like I said, the vapor to go up around the box. When we use a metal box, they also come with little tabs on them for 1/2 inch drywall, and they can be adjusted a little bit as well for 5/8 drywall if you're into a fire barrier situation. But they would go on the wall like this, and you can also get into wrapping them with 6mm poly vapor barrier. Here in Canada is what we use. I just want to talk about the metal boxes for a second. So the metal boxes, basically we have an 1104 LHT, which is a gangable box. And then you can also get these in a welded box that the sides are welded on. And then you can also get them in deep. So there's a couple things I want to mention about metal boxes versus plastic boxes. At the end of the day, we're only as good as the materials that we install. So if we have an outlet that actually malfunctions and starts to melt inside the box, which would you rather have? Would you rather have plastic behind that, or would you rather have metal? Most people are going to say metal because you have longer burn time if something were to happen. However, the plastic boxes are pretty popular. Now, with the welded steel box, you can't really do anything with it. If you go to change a box or do a renovation at a later date and you try to get wider on the box, then you need to take that box off and add another box. With the gangable boxes, the reason we use these is because they're so easy to take the sides off. So if you zoom in here and have a look at the box up close, you can see there's screws here and there's screws here. So what we usually do before we mount the box is we'll go through and tighten those screws to make sure they're good and tight, to make sure the box isn't going to come apart on us. Now, if we were to go to add anything to this box, we can take the side off and then gang it on as we see fit. Now, as far as mounting the box onto the stud for the drywall, when we mount the box, there's a couple different ways to do it, and it depends on your local code area. So again, along with doing your own electrical work, check with your local building code or your local electrical code to see how they want them mounted. In some places in Canada, when we use a sectional box, they want a nail or a screw right through the whole box to hold it together. Here where we are, they're okay with just mounting them through the box or on the outside of the box. But if we have more than 2 boxes, then we need to have a brace on the other side. But in this case, we don't. So a lot of electricians will take the box and they'll screw on the outside. The problem with that is if you ever go to take the box out after the drywall is up, that becomes an issue. So what we generally do, there's 2 little screw holes inside here. If you want to come in close, you can see them inside there. We just put our screws right into the box like so. And what that does is that secures the box on the inside. Once the drywall is on, they're not putting drywall on in this case, but once the drywall is on, we can simply pop these screws out and remove the box, which makes it easier. These are all little tricks of the trade that we've learned over the years to do for our clients to make things a little easier. Okay guys, that's basically all there is to it when we're talking about boxes and mounting them to studs. We'll get into more detail in other videos. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, or you can pop over to our website. The link's at the bottom in the description, where all our videos are in a nice organized fashion. That's it for this one, and we'll see you next time.